Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today we're going to make a very nutrient dense tea full of minerals and all kinds of good stuff. And the main ingredient we're going to be using in that is the mixed greens blend that I have. And I'm always talking about this, especially a lot more lately because I've been using it even more, even though I always use it a lot. And what this is just a whole bunch of different greens from my garden. This particular jar is from 2017, and I just now found, because they got put out of order, I still have some from 2015 to work through. And it's just whatever it is, excess green stuff that I'm growing in the garden that is edible and full of all kinds of minerals and other great nutrients, and things like grape leaves, strawberry leaves, blackberry leaves, raspberry leaves, stinging nettle, plantain, carrot tops, kale, red mustard, beet greens, dandelion leaves, and so much more. Oh, amaranth leaves. I'm always forgetting stuff because it's a long list of really good stuff. Borage leaves even. Yeah, lots of great stuff. Now, if you're curious about what at least what went into my 2018 blend, I'll go ahead and put a link right here where I show how I put it all together and mix it up, and after dehydrating this stuff all summer, and then and then put it in my mixed greens. Now, the mixed greens, typically what I do is I use it in dinner type things, or even breakfast, like if I'm making a breakfast sausage, out of beef, and I'll put in a pinch of the mixed greens blend in there. I just add it to anything I can because it's so good and so healthy, and just another way to get those greens. And now that it's spring and things are starting to grow, I'm so excited because I can hardly wait to be able to eat this stuff fresh out of the garden. However, this is just one way that we can enjoy this stuff, or at least get the good nutrients out of this in our diet throughout the year, even when the stuff is not coming in fresh. So one of the new things I've been trying is putting it in my teas. And I had tried it a couple times and kind of forgot about it, was gonna get back to experimenting with. And then somebody asked me about it and requested that I do some videos on using the mixed greens in teas. So I came up with one blend so far that I really like, and I'm going to be working on more blends in the future, and I'll be talking about some more of that today, and probably do some more videos on it, but I'll show you a couple ideas for now and what I'm going to make for the tea that I'm going to have later tonight. Okay, so what I have here is my garage sale find silver teapot. This is vintage. This is very cool. I mention it every tea video. I'll link to the video on it right up here. And so anyway, I'm going to start with a good handful of my mixed greens. Now, one of the things you may want to do is either get a good size, if you're going to make it a pot like I do, because I drink lots of my tea in the evening. I'll have 2 or 3 cups, and then whatever's left over I'll heat it up and have in the morning. Now, and sometimes even mix my jet fueled latte blend into that, which I'll link to that recipe right up here. But anyway, you can make yourself some little cloth tea bags if you don't have a ball that's big enough, or some kind of basket that's big enough to put your tea in a pot like this. It's easy to find the ones that are for just a 1 cup thing, but me, I like making a whole cup. So I made myself some cloth ones. You want to make sure you use a good natural cloth. I've got cotton here, and expect it to get stained. This was an off-white when I made these, so you can see it's changed in color quite a bit. Now, if you're interested in how I made these and you like to sew, I'll go ahead and link to that video right up here. So what I've been doing though is I've been skipping the bag and just putting the stuff right in the pot. Just keep in mind, if you decide to do it that way, you're going to get the pot actually has little holes on the side, I realized, right here before the spout, so that actually keeps a lot of the bigger pieces from coming through the spout anyway. So I'm just kind of getting lazy because I get tired of emptying these out, so I've just been putting a big handful, so that could be as much as a ½ cup into the whole pot, maybe more. So it's a big handful, so there's a lot of greens in there. Okay, and then this is going to be an orange spice. So I'm going to add a Ceylon cinnamon stick. This is organic. I'll go ahead and link below to the ones that I buy. This is organic orange peels. You don't want to get too carried away when you're adding citrus peels, because I leave the pith on when I dehydrate it, and it's pretty tasty if you don't go overboard with it. But if you get too too much into your tea, it will bring out the bitterness. So, you know, 2 or 3 small pieces like that are gonna, you don't want to go any more than that. And then I like to put some cloves. So I put about that much. That could be that looks like maybe a teaspoon of whole cloves. They're the best for making tea. I use the ground ones sometimes, but the whole cloves work better in the tea. And then some other options is to throw in a pinch of ginger. I got about a teaspoon there. And if you like it spicy, take a pinch of red pepper. Now, one thing I've noticed about red pepper flakes is when I add it directly to my food, it's not very hot. But when it cooks in the food, it makes a lot more spicy. So be careful about putting red pepper flakes in there because it could make it quite spicy. And obviously skip that step if you don't like spicy. So that right there is all you really need. Now tonight I'm going to try, because I meant to mention this and I don't think I did when I was doing the last tea video with the citrus vanilla. I meant to show you adding me adding the orange extract that I made. And I have a video on how I made this right up here. Really good stuff. And this is just another way you can add, and this is what I normally did, but I don't think I did it in the video. You can just add a little bit more orange flavor by pouring about a teaspoon or so into your tea. And, you know, and it's homemade, so it's really good. And then I'm going to top this off with my filtered rainwater, or whatever healthy, good water you have, well water, whatever it is you have that doesn't have fluoride and chlorine in it. That's what we're trying to avoid the best we can. And that's how I started. You can see right there. You see all the stuff in there. Now, one thing you may want to consider doing, and I don't always do this, but just to make sure it gets steeped really well, is to take a spoon and mix that in. So I got my little bamboo spoon here, and this is what I usually use, and just kind of mix it in there because you get all that stuff that likes to float to the top. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is set that on my hot plate now that we're getting lots of solar power. I hook the hot plate up to our solar power, and the hot plate just sits on top of our range, and we have a solar power outlet here in the kitchen, and that's what I use to run all my kitchen stuff when we're getting plenty of solar power. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with that. What I do is I get it good and hot, and then I let it simmer. I prefer to let it simmer for as long as I can, at least 15 minutes. Now, I mentioned this before, when it comes to delicate herbs, you may not want to do that. Typically, the way most people will do it when it comes to delicate herbs is to just put it in the tea ball, pour the hot water, the already heated hot water over it, and then let it sit. Now, since I sip on this all through the night, I like to let it simmer and then just keep drinking on it through the night and then heat it up. And that way I know I'm getting lots of flavor and lots of good stuff in there. And I feel pretty good about this. So this is one good spicy type tea you can make. And I'm finding I really like the mixed greens in there. I didn't think I would. I thought they would taste kind of gross, but I'm really loving the flavor. And just knowing I'm getting those nutrients. I know I've been craving all these greens lately because I've been needing those minerals that are in those. So that's one of the reasons why I've been working on getting more of this in there. Now, another option that I'm probably going to try next is another video that I did a while back was on the lavender tea. And so this is actually all the lavender I've left because I didn't dehydrate a whole lot up last year because I had so much. But now that I've finally been using my lavender a lot more, I'm going through it quicker. So this year, I'm definitely going to dehydrate a lot of flowers. So anyway, you can check out my video I did on the lavender tea, and I'll put that right up here. And that was using the I think I used the marshmallow and some other things and some vanilla extract. And then do the same thing with the mixed greens. At least I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try that soon, probably tomorrow night, since I already got this pot ready to go. And then you can experiment with other types of flavors as well. And I will also be doing that and coming up with new blends, new things I haven't even shown you yet. So far I have, I think, 3 different types, or maybe 4. I don't know how many different herbal teas I have out there. But you should be able to find the playlist. In fact, what I'll do is I'll link to the playlist on my tea blends at the end of this video. And then what I'll do is I'll put a little video clip right here, since this will be later tonight, that I'll be pouring the tea, and you can see what it looks like coming out of the pot and how it looks in the mug, and there we go. And so that's how I make my nutrient dense herbal tea that I like to drink in the evenings and early in the morning. And I just love it. It's really been making me feel pretty good lately. And also, now that we're into that time of the year, it's not going to be long before I'll be coming out with more videos on herbs. And I have a whole bunch of herbal related videos out there, and I have a whole playlist on that as well. I'll put that playlist right here if you would like to check it out. And just all different kinds of herbs, and more will be added as we start getting into that time of year where all this stuff is growing and I start dehydrating, and be watching for more dehydrating videos coming out too. And I also have a bunch of those if you want to know how I dehydrate my herbs. I have two different ways that I dehydrate things, and one is electric running off solar, and the other is using my wood stove. So you can just do a search on my channel to find more about, you know, dehydrating. And all you have to do if you're new to try to figuring out how to do searches on people's channels, well, you know, there's the search bar at the top of the YouTube, and that's for anything. That's all the way across YouTube. But when you're on a person's channel page, you go down a little bit, and to the far right is another search bar. That particular search bar is for that person's channel. So when you put a search item in there, you should be able to pull up only what that person has. So if you're interested in anything about dehydrating, just type that in there, and you should find any video I have out about dehydrating and or herbs or whatever it is. Whatever it is. I have all kinds of different stuff out there. Sewing, crocheting, and so on. That's how you can find that. And you know, nut milks, recipes of all different varieties. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new, and that you'll start learning how to make your own blends of teas. Just experimentation. That's how I've always done it. I've never followed anyone's recipes for making teas. I just throw stuff together and see how I like it. Sometimes it doesn't always turn out all that great, but I drink it anyway. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.